Welcome to the Bearded Finisher Podcast, your one-stop show for all things finishing and coatings. Your host, Zach, and a variety of industry experts will guide you through the art of perfecting your finishing and business game. From seasoned pros to fresh faces, get ready for tips, tricks, and trends to elevate your knowledge and business to the next level.
What is going on, everybody? Zach here. We are back at the show Friday, final morning. Got here early so I could squeeze into the booth and talk to the awesome guys at SurfPrep. Everybody knows Skylar. We've got this awesome gentleman to my right. His name is Nippen.
Yeah.
Nippen. And what we're going to talk about is what you will hear in all the videos. The most interesting thing that everyone's seen, new technology, is what's behind us, and I'm going to move out of the way, is the automated sander. So first off, Skylar, what's going on, man?
How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. I'm glad to be back.
Well, we're honored to be back here with you, Zach. And yeah, it's been a good 3 days. The show, I would say the volume of attendance has been maybe off just slightly.
Yeah.
But for those that made it here and they came with the intention of looking how to improve what they do with the processes that they have in their facilities, it's been rewarding. We've had a tremendous amount of activity and engagement here. We are always slammed, it feels like, in the booth. And it's been especially exciting this year because the connection that I have had with Nippen Goal, we kind of organically met here about what Nippen
15 months,
15 months ago.
Wow.
So I would say that Nippen is very intentional. I'm intentional. Our entire team is intentional.
Very much so.
And we discovered a very simple way to deliver value to a shop, regardless of size, to help them reduce the amount of, I guess, I've always thought about what keeps people up at night.
Yeah.
You know, shop owners, what keeps them awake? And we have found a phenomenal solution to addressing some of their sanding issues.
Yeah.
So I just real quickly,
quick overview, just kind of let everybody know what we're looking at here.
Yep.
And then we'll get Nippen to get into a little bit of the technical talk, but just kind of let us know how it works.
So when anybody on our team goes into a shop, we are always listening and observing and trying to figure out where those pain points are with sanding. Sanding is not fun.
Never.
And when you see sanding cells where humans are struggling to get work done, that's where our attention is drawn to.
Yeah.
That's where we're focused on how do we help them do what they do better. If you take, for instance, this solid slab MDF door, we got pencil marks in there. With the SurfPrep sanding system and with Vancouver Automation, we're able to take either the rectangular sander into this recessed panel area or the round sander. It's a 5-inch. It could be electric or air. And what we're doing is we're taking the tool in here. We're removing all of the fuzz left over by the router.
Yeah.
Any trailing lines, any areas that need to be cleaned up for thermofoil, for primer, paint, whatever it is. And the great thing about this tool is that it's consistent. When we're doing this, I've done this by hand with a 3x4 sander. It's extremely difficult to have the consistency and to get.
Yeah, you're going to move around.
Exactly.
And that's going to be even all the time.
Right. Even all the time. So that's what people are. They're looking for solutions to get that addressed and handled. The biggest problem is if somebody, if somebody calls in sick, even if you're sanding the 3rd, 4th hour of the day, you can't maintain the muscle memory and the same pressures and everything to get into these different areas.
I mean, that's always been in the finishing world, is always been something of, you can automate priming, you can automate the finish line, you can automate the heating, conveyors, but sanding has always been something that is forever known as there's not a machine that can do it as efficiently as what a human can.
Yeah.
Because of the different dimensions.
Absolutely.
But you guys have just disrupted the holy crud out of that.
Yeah, and in a good way, right?
In a good way, yeah.
And you know what? It's interesting that you brought up disruption because we've had some comments where people are like, well, you're taking jobs away. Actually, no, we're not. It's kind of like in our own factory when we put in automated CNC electronic die presses. Some of our employees thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose this part of my job in this part of production, when in reality, it was just a reassignment to another area. As the company scales and grows, you don't want to lose those good people. You don't want to lose them. So we've had some people say, well, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose the 2 ladies or the 2 men that were doing all the sanding. No, what we're doing is we're creating an environment where now they can use more of the intellectual part of what they're doing. They can now operate this thing.
They can learn a new skill.
They learn a new skill
that goes further in life. But also, I mean, it kind of goes back to the entrepreneur, and you and I are really similar to that. You take care of the people that take care of you.
They'll take care of you.
If you take care of your employees, no matter what, they'll keep producing. They're willing to say, hey, where do you need me now?
Absolutely.
What new skill do you need me to learn?
Exactly. That's very, very well said.
Yeah.
No, that's very, very well said. It's you want the woodworker to be a woodworker. You don't want him to be the sanding person. You want him to use his knowledge, his skills that he's gained.
Exactly.
To inspect the door, to say, hey, this is the quality my customers want and my customers want.
Exactly. 100%. So, Nippon, give us, before you jump into this, just a real quick 3-minute summary of Vancouver Automation and your history of how you got into this world.
Fair enough. So I'm a software engineer. I do not know anything about woodworking. I started off in waste management, you know, the blue bins and the black bins, recycling them out, looking at the complex images of like Tide bottles, Pepsi bottles, Coke bottles, and saying, hey, what goes where? Right?
Okay.
I went to a woodworking shop. I said, hey, I can automate sanding process for you, but I don't know anything about woodworking. I want to see you do it. I spent a year in their facility. I just saw them. For hardwood, they did this. And I'm like, oh, you're working on cross grains. That's what we want to remove. Let me do that for you. Oh, you want more amount here? Okay, let me do the router marks for you. I did not know anything. And that, I think, was the best thing. Is I went with an open perspective and said, what do you do? How do you do it? And let me do that for you.
That's genius.
And, you know, that has been the key. With SurfPrep, I think the reason I went with SurfPrep is that they came in and said, hey, this is not how you sand. Do this, and that's how you sand. Like the wrap-up feature that we built into one, they told me that, hey, this is actually the better way of doing it. You got actually good results with that.
Yeah.
The 10mm pad, no one else builds it. Their 10mm pad is amazing.
Yes.
That allows us to go into the corners.
Yes. 10mm pad and half-inch, my favorite.
Yeah, exactly. That's about Vancouver Automation is. We don't say you optimize your process for us. We say, hey, we optimize the robot for you.
There you go. So you can modify it, and you can teach. If someone is to look at this, you can go to their facility, see what they're doing, and say, all right, here's what we can automate for you, and here's how we do it. And if you need to change it, we can go here, and you can show them how they can change the pattern.
Change the pattern. Exactly. Everything is, all you got to do is you say, hey, what kind of door it is, and press start. In the next update, you don't even have to select the door. Robot already knows what it is. Camera already knows. It's a human eye. I like to tell people when they say, what is AI? It's if a human can detect it, my robot can detect it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love that.
That's how simple it is.
I love the simplicity of it. And then this vacuum pad, I've been hearing people talk about how awesome this thing is. I know this is third party.
This is third party.
Third party. But the simplicity of this to keep your components from moving around, because that's always been a deal in sanding automation.
Yeah.
Is comes down on your part and your part moves, or you have to clamp it down.
Exactly.
So removing that pain point, that's a huge point too.
That's the big point, is that if you're spending time moving stuff up, that's wasted time.
Yes.
What you want your woodworker to do is throw it on. Don't worry, you have to be a robot technician. He needs to be a woodworker again.
Yes.
He needs to throw it on and do his job. You don't want him to be fiddling around. You don't want him to be messing the board. The thing is, if your door gets messed up, that's $100 in loss, because you now lost all the things that behind it.
Yes.
You don't want him to do that. It's as simple. Throw the door on. Let the robot take over.
Yeah.
Nippon, can you speak to those in factories that maybe run air or electric, and can this do both? Can it do air or electric, and why would you choose one over the other? Or
yeah, by all means. So that's the best thing about our robot, right? The robot, how it's built, is off-the-shelf components, off-the-shelf SurfPrep sanders, not any special sanders, off-the-shelf SurfPrep sanders. Now, if your sander breaks, you don't have to call me or call anyone. You have a SurfPrep sander, remove 4 bolts, put a new sander in, and you're up and running.
God, genius.
You want to put an electric sander here? Remove a put this, put an electric sander. There's already a 3-pin plug. No wiring, no nothing. Just plug it in.
And you're good to go.
You're good to go. Robot controls the sanders, robot controls everything.
So if you start with an air, and let's say you have electric as backup, and your air breaks, pull it out, put your electric in, plug it in, and you're good to go.
Good to go.
That is really smart.
We had a question a couple days ago where somebody was asking about, well, can we ease the edges?
Okay.
So we already have kept in mind. So the robot comes with upgrades. You know, it's like you buy a TV and after 6 months, it's garbage.
Yeah.
This robot learns. This robot is growing. We are building a community.
Is AI built into the software?
Software itself. But the best thing is, it's not just AI. We have a community of 12 woodworkers who have bought this machine already, and more are buying. Now, if someone in Idaho says, hey, I like this feature, so I'll give you an example. One of our customers in South Dakota, they wanted grid progression on their frame. They're like, hey, I do hardwood. I want to do a 180 with a 5-inch sander, and I want to do a 3x4 after that. We did the upgrade for free for them. And now all the 12 people in our community have that upgrade already.
So you're connecting to the internet, and you can upload, like if someone wants something, and let's say they find a good feature, and you're like, oh, crap.
Dude,
push it out.
I'm sorry.
No.
Is there a cost to those uploads?
Nothing.
Okay.
Free. That's the best part is you don't have to worry about cost. It's once you paid for this machine, everything is free. The analytics. Oh, we didn't show the analytics. You can actually see what's going on in your facility. You can see a before and after of the sanding. So ultimate traceability. Since we are clicking an image, we know what the robot did before and after. So now if a customer comes back and says, hey, my door is damaged, you can see who is to blame. Is it shipping company? Is it someone who missed that QC?
No. Or if it's rough, or you think, hey, this one just got primer. Did this one not make it on?
Exactly.
I like that.
So now if you know which
you guys
batch was
really thought this through.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
To be honest, we thought it through, but it's our woodworkers who gave us the idea. Say, if you do that, that would be very helpful. That's like,
I mean,
why didn't we think of that?
Getting that industry experience makes a huge difference.
Yes.
To take that, some people call it fast prototyping. Here's what we got. Stick it out there. Get the feedback. May not all be great, but you're always going to learn something.
Exactly.
You're always going to learn, and it's going to make the product better.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's, real quick, you've got 12 guys in the community on it. What is the goal, let's say, team size, shop size, like the investment that a shop's going to make? What are we looking at on this? And what's your, let's say, ultimate, someone comes to you and says, hey, I've got a 2-man shop. Is this for me, or do I need to stay with a manual sanding?
It's an individual decision.
Yeah.
And some of the smallest shops, they're looking at this because of the price point, the value that it delivers, and they're saying, I need this in my shop. So originally, when Nippen and I got together, I was thinking, okay, this is going to find a home in a large OEM where there are, 20, 30, 40, 50 drop stations where people are hand sanding.
Yeah.
What we've come to learn is that a 4-man shop. Nice. So it was interesting. I've had a longtime customer, 25 years, that does doors with thermofoil wrap. He came in yesterday with the intention, wasn't even going to come to Vegas, but we identified some areas where they're bleeding, right? In this process with hand sanding, came in yesterday with the intention of buying one, left the booth, called his CFO, came back into the booth. He's like, I got a problem, Skylar. I'm like, what's the problem? It really wasn't a problem. He's like, I want 2.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
It's the biggest thing for Nippen and I in this relationship is we want to make sure that that owner or that leadership team that is making the decision to step into this, we want them comfortable. Number one,
yes,
we want them to understand everything about the system. When you come into the booth, we want you to ask us, what is the weakest point of this whole thing?
Yeah.
So we don't want to be in a situation where I'm at home at 5:30 in the morning. I get a call and hey, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Right. We want to do all the hard work up front for them, and that's a part of our service.
So what's the lead time? Someone looking at it saying, hey, I need to get one of these, lead time, and then how long does it take to train them?
4 weeks is the lead
Okay.
time.
That's nothing.
And in our part of the service, we come for 3 days. We don't just sell you the machine and say, hey, go figure it out.
Yeah.
I saw someone do that. I hated that. I went there. I come to our facility. I say, hey, build me 5 doors. Whatever doors you do, build all of them for me. I'll fine tune the recipes. I'll fine tune the pressures. I'll fine tune everything. And I'll show you how to do it. I have taught a 70 years old person how to operate this machinery in 3 days.
That is awesome. So you're going to go included in the price because, like most companies, well, they're going to charge you.
Yeah.
They're going to be like,
Right.
it's $2,000 for 3 days or for 24 hours plus hotel plus this, and you spend, 6 digits on a piece of equipment, and then
Right.
you're spending another 5 to get someone to come out and train you.
Right.
But you guys are changing it up, saying
Right.
that's included.
That's
Dude,
included.
that is awesome.
These-
That's service.
The thing is, I wanted to bring something up. As to a Skylar's point with small shops, right? I have a customer who's a 2-man shop. Reason he bought it, he's like, if you get the sander out of my hand and I can focus more on the sales activity, I make double the money in
There you-
lesser time.
My book, Who Not How.
Exactly.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite books. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's his goal. That's how he bought the machine and came to the decision. He's like, I want to focus on sales. I don't want to focus on sanding.
That's genius. Yeah. That's good. So what are we realistic? The ballpark, depending on the setup that you go, electric, air, sanding pads, what are we looking at in investment for a shop?
140.
140?
Yep.
That's really not bad. You're going to spend that on an automated line. I was talking to Superfici.
Right.
You're going to spend 140 on a 3-year payout
Right.
of an employee.
Yeah,
painting.
we've already gone through and done
Yeah.
the ROI on that.
Yeah.
And as an owner, one of the things for me is I want to know, how long am I going to
Yeah.
recover the cost of this investment?
Exactly.
And I've done that with all of my personal equipment. We have electronic die presses that are $370,000. That's a big investment,
Yeah.
right? So before I made that investment, I did my due diligence. I spent a year researching all of this. And the most important part of this entire thing in this relationship that we ultimately will have with a prospective client is what's going to happen when something happens. So at 2:00 in the afternoon in California, I have a problem with my $400,000 press. And I call a gentleman in Italy, and that's 9 hours ahead of me.
Yeah.
He answers the phone, gets up out of bed, throws his shirt on, and he sits at his coffee table and he walks my team through that software issue.
That is awesome.
That's where the rubber meets the road.
Yes.
That's what this gentleman's all about. That's what his team's about in terms of the service side of it. Anything related to this, you call myself, Nippen, our teams, and we're going to address this. And that's why we have the reputation I believe we have.
Agreed.
And people, it's the building blocks of trust that you create over time with humans.
Yeah.
And when you have a wall of trust with them, your phone number is at the top of their list, and they're calling you whenever problem.
Yep.
And it's just a phenomenal thing. So it's so simple. It's so simple. It's easy.
And that's what we want to continue as well. As Skylar said, we want to increase and build on his reputation and say, hey, you have a help button, press that help button. Within 5 minutes, if my team doesn't come back, we'll take away the machine, because within 5 minutes, someone or 15 members get an email, hey, there's a problem with this machine, come look at it.
That's nice.
So here, if you see, I just press this help button, takes a second, sends an email saying, hey, there's a problem, come look at this machine. 5 minutes, there'll be someone on a video call, help email sent,
It's already on there.
already on there, 15 members got an email.
Since that's all Windows based, then someone's going to jump on here via whatever video app,
Yeah,
and then they're going to troubleshoot you through it right there.
right.
Done.
Oh,
But the thing
'cause
is,
it's
we don't
connected.
want someone
That
to
is
have
awesome.
even a 5 minutes downtime, right?
Right.
That's the goal. If you have 5 minutes downtime, you're losing
You're losing.
human hours,
Right.
everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a back trickle effect. Awesome. Well, talk us through. Yeah, just real quick. Give us a real quick rundown on, and then I want to run it,
Yeah, but
and I want to show everyone how this thing works because everyone's just raving about it. But just give us, what's your favorite 3 things about the equipment?
fair enough. Brought this in a back of F-150. Ran it on the power of F-150 truck. So take 110 volts, put it in a back of truck, brought it from Vancouver up till here to Las Vegas. Last month, took it to Florida in the back of a truck.
In the back of a truck. That is awesome. So you don't need.
We want it to be productive. It doesn't have to be fancy or beautiful.
Yeah.
As long as it's doing what that shop owner needs it to do, which is stopping the bleeding in their shop with manual hand sanding, that's all the functionality.
That's awesome.
The dependability, the integrity of the cobot. What's the service life on the cobot?
7 years.
Oh, you're good.
7 years, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
And the cobot is going to be the top.
This
Portion,
Yep.
the arms and everything.
Everything. This is 3 millimeters thick metal. If it goes somewhere, we'll replace it for free for you.
Yeah,
It's not going anywhere.
If it gets damaged, we got bigger problems.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
No, everything is off the shelf. Everything. And I mean, everything made in US. Robots coming from Texas, coming from Colorado, everything in US. So anything goes down, you have a quick response time of like within a day or two, you'll have your machine up and running.
That is awesome. Awesome. All right. What's your next favorite feature?
Second favorite feature. Robot comes with a 2 years warranty. Not 1 year, 2 years.
Nice.
That's how we know that the robot is good. It's like, hey, 2 years, you don't have to worry about a thing.
Excellent.
Anything, right? No maintenance, no oiling, no cleaning, nothing. You don't need to do anything to this robot.
Just let it do its job.
Let's just do this job.
Wow. I like that.
Servo driven, exactly.
Okay.
So,
Final favorite.
the software. You can put any door, any size. Hey, we have a 25 by 50, but now if I went to 25 by 100 inches, can I do that? I have a lot of customers asking that question. Yeah, just move the door on. Robot has camera, it knows what it has done. Just move the door on.
So it knows its stopping point.
Yep.
So you can put it here and then push it down. If you're doing a face frame, depending on the face frame, you can just rotate the face frame.
Exactly.
And it'll know exactly where to pick up.
The thing is, it's AI. It knows anything and everything. It's not sending your data to anything, and it's not compromising your data. We have very strict data privacy laws around our system. Nothing is getting compromised, but it's AI, so you don't have to worry about it. It's all running locally in your system. Nothing's going on the cloud. Nothing is going outside your factory. Running on the system in this machine, learns everything.
But if you're a data person, you can get those analytics.
Analytics. We have connected people to ERP. Everything. All the services are included. We want to work with you. We are not selling you a robot and saying, go away. We want to work with you and say, what do you do?
Yeah.
Let us help you out. Exactly what Skylar's and SurfPrep's, saying is.
Yeah.
Let us help you out.
That's awesome. I mean, you guys, so what kind of brainchild? Like, how long have you been working on this?
My God. Zach, I've talked to some industry professionals, and they said, why wasn't this in the into the visionary, right?
True.
There's preparation
Yes.
that has to come with that. Hannah was beating me up. She's like, why aren't we going to get this entered into the visionary or the award category thing, whatever, right? And it's just timing.
Yeah.
I promise you it'll be in the challengers for next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've talked to some industry professionals. They have seen this, and they're like saying, this guy is brilliant.
Yes.
Their core values align directly with ours. And it's all about the person who's coming into, to buying this thing. But
you put this one thing, but when you put your name and your integrity behind it,
right,
that's what takes it to the next level.
Right.
And that's what makes those relationships
absolutely
fortified, I guess is
Yeah.
the word I'm looking for.
Yep.
You know,
we would hope that there are folks out there in the industry. We have people that have been running the 3x4 sander for 8 years.
Yeah.
And they look at that and they're like, and we've got wonderful Wendy that's on our team, and she takes care of all of our sander issues, concerns, questions, whatever. We address those right now.
Yeah.
And so it's the building blocks of trust that create that wall. And that's the same exact thing that Nippen and Knit Tissue are all about. It's the same thing. We're not here to sell anything.
Yeah.
We don't want to sell anything. We want people to see something that will fit a need in their shop.
Yes.
We hope that they purchase it from us, and then we will bust our butts supporting them.
Yeah. Solving problems, developing relationships.
That's it.
Sales is the third, fourth down the list.
That's it.
It'll happen if you do the first two or three.
Right?
Exactly.
My hope, my wish, my prayer, my goal is for everybody that buys one of these things, their business scales and they've got to hire 4 more people.
Yep. That's
You know,
awesome.
Hey, maybe down the road now they got to buy another one. You got to have a human there to run it.
Yep.
So it's helping. It's helping everyone.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, we're pretty fired up and excited, huh?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I want to give one more shout out.
Oh.
Yeah. Is if you how we design the machine
Yeah.
is you want to get more productivity of the same person, right? So now imagine you had one robot here, one robot, and then one robot in a U-shaped configuration, and then the person is just loading all 3. Now his productivity is 4 times more than we could have ever received.
Yeah.
Now the shop has another CNC to feed all the machines, and he's growing.
I mean, I'm just thinking of, when I had my shop, my SOP for sanding was like 2 pages long.
Yep.
And you're always modifying it 3 times, count to 3, go that way, feel it, get a supervisor, but it minimizes the need for SOPs.
Yep.
And which is going to make them more efficient.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Nippon, wonderful to meet you. Appreciate you guys showing me this. And now let's watch it run.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want your brand in front of the people who actually move product? Painters, finishers, and manufacturers? The Bearded Finisher podcast has pulled in over 75,000 downloads and reaches across the entire finishing supply chain, from job site to manufacturing. From single episode sponsorships to social media promotion, we offer flexible options that get your brand noticed. Real reach, real results. Visit thebeardedfinisher.com and let's get your brand front and center. Are you a residential painter buried in admin, scheduling chaos, or constant material delays? Meet mypaintbuckets.com, the first dedicated project management platform built by painters for painters. It delivers turnkey workflows to simplify your day, from project sharing and material ordering to scheduling and EPO capture, so you can focus on scaling your crew and maintaining the reputation you've worked so hard to build. And if you're a supplier, painters are evolving faster, smarter, and more efficient than ever. The suppliers who thrive over the next 10 years will be the ones who build real trust. That's why we created free tools to help you keep up and stay relevant. Head to mypaintbuckets.com and see why the next generation of painters isn't looking back.
What is going on, everybody? We're still live at the show, AWFS, here in Vegas. We're on day 5, right? 4 or 5?
Feels like day 10.
Friday, last day here. We've got Jakub, Sivam Coatings. You guys have seen him on an episode before. We're stopping in, check on things, check out some samples. First and foremost, how's the show going for you guys?
It's interesting. Would be, I guess, a nice way of saying it. You know, it's become more of a networking show with other competitors or co-workers, some business partners, you know, equipment manufacturers. It hasn't been quite empty.
Yeah, there hasn't been quite the traffic that has been, I mean, in the past years. I mean, I know since I started coming almost 5 years ago, it seems like every year this particular show has gotten just a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing this for, I think, 16 years, and this is definitely, I don't know, 1/3 of what it used to be, if not smaller.
Yeah, I know when I first started,
size-wise,
smaller.
But, you know, just looking around, like, there's no people crowding the corridors, and it used to be like the whole day would go by, you wouldn't have time to get lunch because you were like left, right, you know, how can I help you? Hey, you talk to this person.
Yeah.
It hasn't been like this year.
The foot traffic's been interesting this year. That's been kind of a common theme of everyone I've talked to. But I mean, I will say though that, I mean, a couple guys have said that even though it's been light, like the people that actually did come have tended to be a little more fruitful.
Yes, that's what I actually had this conversation earlier this morning with Joe Pilon from Renner, was that in the past, it was big crowd. You talk to a lot of people, which is nice because you get kind of practice in selling things, but you sort of knew that a majority of those people,
80% of
it
them.
will not turn into business. This year it has been a lot slower, but the few that have stopped by, they came here for a reason. They were seeking us out, or they're looking at us and maybe some of our competitors. They had a specific thing that they were looking for, and it seems like it's viable business for whomever, whoever sold them the best. But yeah, more concrete leads, I guess.
That's. I mean, it's a win, like you said. It's nice to be able to practice on those guys, but it does make the time go by a lot slower.
It does. It does. It does. We all had time to catch up.
That's good, though.
I mean, rumors.
Rumors, they're always going to happen. I feel like just about any industry you go into, you're going to have that group of people that are just all over the place. There's going to be rumors in any of them.
Well, yes. I've said this before. It's an incestuous little industry, and I'm assuming other industries are the same way.
I just was over at SurfPrep, and I was talking to Skylar, and I'm like, we were talking about this exact same thing, and it was like, I was like, exact words. I said, man, this coatings and woodworking world is just one big incestuous family.
Yeah, it is. It is, most definitely.
So let's kind of talk about Sivam here and what you guys do. Most people, a lot of people know of you guys. You guys are doing really well up in Canada, and the U.S. is starting to kind of pick up pace. But I want to kind of run through some of your core items, and then I want to just kind of hit on a few specialty stuff, because you guys do some awesome special effects. Some of my favorite stuff. But let's kind of run through the core stuff of your core line as far as PUs, water versus solvent, and what people can expect from Sivam.
So obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but as many of our Italian or even European competitors, we manufacture two-component polyurethanes, 2K acrylics, water-based 1K and 2K, interior, exterior coatings, UV. Now we have added an excimer UV line of products to our lineup. And at this show, we have introduced a non-isocyanate acrylic product as well.
So a non-iso 2K?
Yes.
Acrylic? Excellent. Yeah, that seems to be a go one. A couple of guys have introduced that this year.
Yeah, and we knew these products were coming. Some had them earlier than others. Still not a big segment with coating. I mean, we're still trying to push the standard products here in North America. Polyurethanes and acrylics, and then water-based, and talking about non-iso or excimer is way out there. But we have to have it, and we have to be ready. And there are certain areas or markets that we might be obligated to use these products. So we have to have them.
Yeah, definitely got to have them. So what's been the reception to the ISO free? Have you had a lot of people piquing their interest, wanting to talk about it?
It piques their interest, but as with any other exciting new technology, it's something that might bring them into the booth and start the conversation. At the end, it's like, hey, I need a pail of a 1K water-based primer or
meat and potatoes.
Yeah. It's similar to the special effects. We focus on showing and displaying the special effects, and actually, I'm a little bit wrong, because we have put a lot of work into our new system. But when you look at the displays here, the ratio of these special products versus the more common products is off and when you compare it to what we sell. But it's always kind of what brings the customer in.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to display that, hey, we can do all this cool stuff, but it is not what's selling in pallets out there.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's a nice showpiece.
But the booth setup you guys have, I love how you've gone through, and you guys can see behind us here, you've taken a very designer approach by putting different mediums, different textures, different effects. It's not just a bunch of painted doors.
I'm glad you said that. That was always our goal. This is always a conversation that I have with our president Eduardo is there's such a difference between the European shows and American shows. In Europe, they don't do doors and panels. And I always try to explain to our Italian counterparts that here, that's how it goes. You need to have samples.
Yeah.
And 99% of the time, they're doors. So we always say, why don't we do something in the middle? Like, we can have panels, but let's try to display it in a different way and more creative way, but also projecting the more higher end and the Italian origin. And then we were always very fascinated with the idea of a mood board, of like, when architecture designers put materials together. I personally really enjoy that, and I know Eduardo does as well. So we finally somewhat sort of got to do it in some way.
I mean, very impressive.
And there is another part to it is that, we always been known for wood coatings.
Yeah.
As a company in Italy, we have done a lot of other substrates, polyurethane foam, even automotive industry or fashion or sports equipment.
Really?
So we've done this in the past, but now we sort of kind of I don't want to say reinvent, but reinvigorated this department and designed this new system, which we're focusing on now is that we have wood, we have glass, plastic, and metal, and we use the same tinting system to address all of these different segments.
So you just have like your base coat and your top coats are varying based on the resin and what the substrate is, but you can use the same tinting program.
The same tinting program, and now
That's
this tinting
nice.
program is expanded to a very comprehensive range of metallics and pearlescents that also go across all these different substrates and interior and exterior application. So as a distributor or even a high-end customer or a large customer that would be set up with a tinting system, if they want to expand into those other substrates, they already have what they need. The software is there, the pigments are there, the metallics are there. All you need to do is bring in a different resin. So bring in a different base converter or top coat. Depends on what the application is, but it condenses everything, keeps it simpler.
So you're making just so I understood it, you're making the special effects that you guys have, whether it be the metallics or the pearlescence. Those are universal across all the substrates.
All the substrates.
Wow, that is genius.
So
that's really thoughtful.
So let's say for the metallics or even standard colors, if you're a furniture manufacturer and you manufacture, different components, so you got wood MDF as one part, then you have glass or metal or plastic that are other components of that piece.
Bases and stuff like that.
And they need to have the same finish or the same color or metallic effect across all substrates. This is what it's meant for.
That's really good. I like that.
So
yeah, simplicity. I mean, that's like, I think the word that comes to my mind is just like high-end, elegant simplicity. You still get the high-end, elegant look, but you don't have to have 15 different products.
Exactly. And we obviously, as we sort of relaunch this and are offering a new line, we made sure that on a technical part, the performance, it performs very well, especially, when we're talking about metallics, the homogeneity of the surface, no distortion, ease of application, which was something that a lot of us struggled in the past with. We're making it easier to manufacture, retain the performance of the product, and keep it simple for the end user, the distributor, or whoever is responsible for managing this.
Yeah, I mean, I've sprayed a lot of metallics, and I will say that was always the hardest part, is the consistency and the uniformity in the flake. And then when you go to top coat it, how the top coat affected it.
The top coat affected it, but even, the metallic itself, the flake, but also anytime that you try to shift the color, there was always a struggle. There were either pigments that would eventually encapsulate the metallic, it would diminish the metallic, the reflectivity of it, or the metallic effect, or if you've gone a different direction and did something like dies, then you have distortion floating and all sorts of other issues. This addresses it all. So,
awesome.
so for this system, like specifically metallic, we have 4 metallic pastes. They're acrylic paste, it's not powder, different size of flake. Then we have 4 different interferential pearls that will shift the color to a different color as you go across. Then we have the metals, the copper, the bronze, gold, all that. And you can use one, or you can intermix them to get really interesting effects. A small flake with large flake with red pearl and green pearl.
And get some really crazy
and copper chrome in it.
Yeah. Kind of like similar to like this.
Yeah, kind of like like this or this. This would be, you have a little bit of spray of pearl here, which it probably won't register on the camera, but this is more homogeneous metallic copper chrome on glass. But the effects are wild, and the opacity you can.
That's what I mean. The glass coatings is something that has always intrigued me. I never really got into it. And is most of it just applied to like the backside of glass to get that effect?
It's typically the back of the glass, yeah.
And do you have to prep the glass in any way? And it sticks directly to it. I'm just thinking of projects that I can do around the house. It's like some glass. I'm like, okay.
So I know. I've gone through the same kind of thought process as I was preparing for the show. Most of the samples came from Italy, or some of them are from last year's show. But I finally had ability to do, hey, you can get creative and do some stuff. I said, well, obviously I'm going to choose the metallics. And there was some glass laying around, and I started. And once I did, then a world of possibilities open, and it's already, I can't sleep. I'm thinking of what I'm going to do at home, or what kind of exciting things I can achieve. So that was great. But coming back to what we're discussing, we have this metallic paste with different flake, the pearlescence, the metals that we put into our converter base. But on top of this, we have 5 transparent, translucent pigments that now we can use to shift the color of that
beyond the pearlescence,
beyond anything that you could imagine, without encapsulating the metallic flake, without diminishing the metallic color, and trying to see if I picked anything that was actually illustrated.
That blue one right there.
But you have
crazy.
You have the blue, you have the green, but you can go more drastic.
I like that.
And really get wild.
What about, so the thing that I always found when I had my company, when you get into this world, and it was a different manufacturer that I sprayed. We won't talk about them, but the thing that always got me was you were just trying to figure shit out, because no one knew anything about it here in the US as far as different application methods, different techniques. Are you guys going to class of any kind where people can come and like learn special effects? Is that something maybe you guys have thought about?
I've thought about this many times. And yes, definitely there will have to be some education behind it. We will probably start at the distributor level. I think our first one will be in Calgary. Our distributor out there is very sizable. They have good share of the market, and we're sort of launching the pilot program there. Okay. So it will be first for the technicians and the guys in the lab to say, hey, here's the system. Let me show you a couple things what you can do. And it's really once you put it in their hands that you start seeing all sorts of cool things that they come up with. And then it will be promoted to the end users. If we get a good enough response, then of course it only makes sense to have a sort of a training and bring them in. Right now it might be case to case.
Like if you can get enough 4 or 5 guys. I mean, my distributor, I had to really push and push and push. I think when I finally got 6 guys, so I was like, hey.
Yeah, it makes sense. Instead of doing it 6 times, you can do it once.
6 guys in. Let's go out. We got to pay our way to get there, but they're going to teach us some really cool shit.
Yeah. And and you can see like someone like Robert Chicky. He really has the right idea. He's been doing this for a long time. He's been promoting. His system is very different than ours, but again, it's a specialty application and product, and he's really capitalized on that.
Capitalizing, it's just finding those guys that are ready to go to that next level. And I think what he's done really well is he's piqued everyone's interest. So now you've got a group of about, I would estimate that group's probably in the 20 range right now in the US, spread out all over the place, that are really like infatuated or obsessed with the specialty finishes. They want to do everything they can on the specialty.
Well, yeah, they set themselves apart from the other finishers, and it's something kind of similar to what I always talk about millwork cabinetry shops that treat finishing as
4-letter cuss word.
yes, a red-headed stepchild. Like
Yes.
they don't want to do it. They have no interest in it. They're forced to do it to sell their product. So it's usually an overlooked part of the their operation. But now you're seeing companies out there, maybe younger companies, that are sort of starting to understand that, hey, we can all build cabinetry or do this or that. It's really the finish that sets us apart from our competition. And by the way, it's the first impression that you get. It's when you look at something and when you come and touch it, nobody's like, oh, this is so well constructed. They're,
that's down the line.
Yeah, that's down the line. But it's the first impression is the finish. So there are companies that are setting themselves apart by really kind of now investing into understanding and learning finishes and being much more proficient or advanced than their competitors. And I think this is the same case with those finishers. They found something and they're like, hey, why should we be doing what everybody else is?
Let's do it.
We can charge more money. We're more specialized. People seek us out.
Well, and it's like, my father-in-law mentored me a lot in this business, and I think the guys that get into the specialty coatings world and be obsessive over the perfection, subconsciously they've realized, and this is what my father taught me, we're service-based business. Finishers are service-based. The sooner you realize you're a service-based business, you're selling a service of your hours.
Yeah.
You have X amount of hours to sell a year. So you got two ways. You either get more hours by hiring people, or you charge more. And if you're providing an ultimate service, you can charge more. So the goal is do less work and charge more.
Yeah, it's that. And I came to a realization that it's also the knowledge that you bring.
Yes.
The experience that you acquire over time.
That comes with that rate that you can charge.
The rate, exactly.
Yeah.
And if you can do what others can't, it's because you have that knowledge.
Yes. Yeah. And ultimately, if you can work 20 hours a month and make the same as a guy working 100 by putting in a little bit of skill.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to choose the 100.
Yeah.
Unless, I don't know.
Walmart will choose 100, but why? There's some people that think the quantity is better. Quality is going to outbeat quantity anytime, in my opinion, but to each his own.
Yeah.
What about U.S. distribution? How are you guys looking as far as people picking it up here in the U.S.? And where can they get it now?
So we have coverage all across Canada. Obviously, Richelieu is a big part of our business, and we are present in U.S. wherever there are Richelieu locations with coating labs.
Okay.
So all across the eastern board, Midwest. They also operate where they do acquisitions, and this is how they're growing and slowly moving west. So there are definitely more locations coming out towards the west part of United States that I can't really mention yet. There might be already part of Richelieu, and we're just gearing up to introduce the program. Sometimes we have to wait, 6 months or a year because they just became part of our Richelieu family. We still are working on integration and stuff like that. Or they might already have a coating program or not. So it takes some work to either transition, add our product line, or start up the coating division in that location.
The Richelieu locations, if we got listeners out there in the community, if you already buy coatings from Richelieu, or they have a coatings department, do most of them stock it, or they have access to bring it in?
Most of them stock it, depending on the market demand. It will vary in quantity. But yes, if a customer comes in and it might be a product that you don't stock in this location because there hasn't been demand for this specific product. Because obviously the range is big.
Especially coatings are always a hard one.
Yeah.
You know, if you're out there and you're looking at specialty, these guys have them.
Yeah,
but not many of them are going to stock these things because they're not big movers.
So they have access to it within their own logistic network.
You guys have a warehouse here in North America, right?
Sivam does not.
Sivam does not.
Our warehouse is basically Richelieu. So our products come in mainly in two different locations. Those are the main hubs, which is Lac Nord in Montreal, and there's Calgary. Both in Canada. Anything serviced in the U.S. through Richelieu comes from Montreal. But it's just their standard operation. That's same with hardware and everything else. So
it's easier to bring it through Canada than it is straight into the U.S.
But then we also have focal finishes in Chicago, as you well know, that are very knowledgeable. They actually work together with Richelieu, which is great. We love it.
That's awesome.
When we all work together and they support each other. They have a slightly different business model. They obviously go after larger accounts, UV, automation, but also are more likely to have some of these specialty products more available because it's a small operation and you can kind of manage it better.
Exactly.
And I know that they're doing quite a bit of work on moving some of our products out west through various channels with Jared's help. So there are various different outlets that you can.
Well, good. I mean, that's always the big one. I mean,
But we're always looking for more.
Yeah, always looking for more. I mean, it's the one thing about coatings that, I mean, it's a good and bad. You can order them online, but there's still that group of guys that don't want to order online. They want to go see it. They want to feel it. They want to touch it, you know. So the more advanced distribution network, and Richelieu is a great partner. I mean, I can imagine they're just an awesome partner to have.
They are. I mean, they you know, the resources are limitless almost. So
pretty much. Yeah. Well, let's see here. I mean, we've talked about distribution. We've talked about coatings. Anything that you guys have coming up in the next year or two that you can talk about?
Yeah, you know, a little bit more about products. You know, we've talked about the metallic system that we are now starting to promote here, and has the various applications and products that go across all different substrates. But some other products that are worth mentioning. You know, we've mentioned in the non-iso acrylic.
Yeah.
But we also have a new acrylic line, LFE05 series, or Acrysad 05, as we would call it, is a more entry level, cost-effective acrylic product that is a self-sealer, clear, with 48-hour pot life.
Whoa! So it's a 2K.
It's a 2K
with a 48-hour pot life.
Correct. So the point of the product is, or there are a couple, but you know, a lot of times when you try to switch guys in the solvent-based world from CV or precat to polyurethanes, it's typically, you know, the only drawback is the pot life. When you go to acrylics, it's a little bit better, but still not the same.
Yeah.
So now you'll have 48 hours, which is more than any CV, as far as I know. I might be wrong, but most.
I mean, most.
There might be some, but most CVs are 8, 12, 24 hours. So here, you know, way beyond that. The other point of this is that for years we have gone after conversion varnish with acrylics. And sure, a lot of end users will understand and agree. I see the advantages: water white, non-yellowing, great clarity, lays down close to the grain, really easy to use, all great.
Yeah.
You know, extremely flexible, chemical and moisture resistant is great.
Great.
Like, we understand all the advantages. We can't afford it. Like, it's just not viable for us when we use conversion varnish. So this is what we're targeting, where we want to go there and say, hey, just like your conversion varnish, you have long pot life, actually longer pot life. Just like your conversion varnish, if you want to, you can use it as a self-sealer. It was formulated to do this. And cost-wise, we're a lot closer to what you're used to. So now it might be something that helps them convert and get rid of formaldehyde and all that good
Have a
stuff and get
cleaner
better
environment.
performance and everything. So that's one, and we dubbed it CV Killer. So
I like that. That is still the dominant one in shops.
It is.
CV.
It is.
And, I mean, it's not a horrible product, but there's just such better products out there.
And actually, no, it is not here. This is the non-ISO. We have the low-cost acrylic or the entry-level CV Killer sitting over there.
Okay.
I didn't think of grabbing one. Another product that we are excited about is our water-based low sheen. I actually have it here underneath.
This is the water-based low sheen?
This is the water-based low sheen. You know, for years, all of us have been going with the water-based or even acrylic natural effect look, which sort of mutes the surface, keeps it more natural looking.
Yeah.
But more and more, we're getting requests of, hey, we want a low sheen. We don't want it to be sort of muted. We kind of want it to look like solvent. And the higher sheens, like 10, 20, 30, it's not an issue. But when we go to 10 or 5, we feel that it's maybe not looking as great. So that was the reason behind this, is to give you a lower sheen water-based with clarity and wetting of the solvent. So you still kind of have that vibrancy.
You're going to get the depth of color, which you kind of lose when you start getting to the soft matte stuff and natural effects.
Exactly.
This is going to give you the clarity that you want without sacrificing.
Yes, and here we purposely, you know, stained this black so you could see that there is no milkiness to it.
There's no milkiness. It stays, but it's still staying close to the grain.
Yeah.
But you can see the depth of color in there too. Yeah, I like that.
So just another, you know, another tool.
Yeah.
As we, you know, I always look at this. You're designing finishing cycles. It's like coatings are tools. Like, oh, what do you prefer, water or solvent, or this or that? I prefer all of it. I like to have access to it all because one day I will use this product here for a specific reason, and here I will use a combination of other products for another reason. And I think, you know, as an experienced finisher and somebody that works in this industry, that's how I think about this.
Yeah.
So like, you know, oh, here's the sealer and top coat. It's like those are all tools that you have to compose the cycle to arrive at the finish that you want.
Yeah.
That does certain things.
It does certain things, gives the end user, the designer, what they're actually looking for.
Yeah.
Nice. This will be nice. I think this will do good. I like the clarity in there that you're getting without the milkiness and the sheen.
Yeah, and it actually has very good test results for the liquid testing and all those you know, performance tests that we do. We were surprised how well it performed.
The good old KCMA test, as everyone calls them.
Yeah, the KCMA test, yes.
I like the quote.
I sort of blanked for a second, but yes.
Yeah. What else do you guys, what's another, let's do it this way. What is, you know, before we wrap up, what are your top 2 favorite finishes that you guys have on the market as a finisher yourself?
As a finisher myself, well, I always been an acrylic guy. I just love acrylics. Easy to use, versatile. They look good. I
can put them over anything. You can put them under anything. They don't really affect the finish.
Yeah, they perform well. The other one is something that we don't have it here, but is this Excimer technology.
I was looking at that. Like, what?
I love these ultra matte products that sort of diffuse the light in a specific way, kind of like the velvet effect, soft touch kind of quality to it. I just love these surfaces
and the feel. I mean, the feel,
and the durability.
I mean, it just feels like butter. I mean, I just love that feel.
Yeah,
kind of reminds me of, you know, without having to deal with the sheen, you get that old school satin and pervo feel.
Yeah.
But without it being lower sheen than a satin. you know, because that was the thing with acrylics that a lot of the older guys never really wanted to switch over from the oils that they use, was that buttered soft feel.
Yeah.
And now that the new ultra mats are coming out, they're doing really well. A lot of people are liking those.
So, you know, for eczema, I know it's not a technology for everyone. It obviously requires very specific equipment and investment and knowledge, and it's a relatively new technology. So it's not something you're going to see everywhere.
Yeah.
But
I haven't seen anyone even talking about it.
I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like I hope that one day we will be doing a lot more of this, and it's the cutting edge. So
nice. That's awesome. Well, let's go a little more show talk before we wrap up. This is one I've been asking everybody at the show. Anything new that you really caught your eye? New technology, new companies. I've seen some new coatings companies out there, some new equipment companies, but what have you noticed and what have you seen that you've been like, well, that's pretty kick-ass?
Some of the spray equipment. I don't have enough knowledge and experience to really be on the cutting edge on automated equipment. I mean, obviously I work with automated flat lines, but I'm not somebody that, you know, that would be Brian that could say, hey, you know, Chefla or somebody else has this really cool. I'm not so involved in it, so I don't know. But, you know, just looking at Anastasia Wada or Wagner or Sada, which, you know, I love Sada. They always have something cool. It's something as a finisher, old school finisher, you know, I can put in my hand and I'm like, yes, it feels good. Now I want to take it home.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's been the highlight for me. Otherwise than that, you know, I'm excited about what we have.
That's good.
Is it kind of selfish, self-centered, narcissistic? I don't know. I'm excited about what we're doing.
Who was I talking to? I want to say it was one of the guys over at one of the automated companies. And we were talking about, what's your favorite part? And he was like, our stuff.
Yeah, our stuff. Yeah. That's kind of what I wanted to say. I'm like, how do I say it nicely and, you know, without sounding like...
It's our stuff. We got the best stuff. So, yeah, I get that. Well, I mean, I appreciate you coming on the podcast again. I mean, it's always great talking to you. I love talking business. Let's catch up again soon. Maybe Atlanta. Maybe before then.
Maybe before then. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sounds good. Thanks, Zach.
Thanks.
And that's a wrap on this episode of the Bearded Finisher Podcast. We thank everyone for joining. Keep hustling, keep learning, and never settle for anything less than your best. Remember, the path to perfection is a journey, not a destination. Until next time.